Hey guys, tmanplays here with another ranked game. Today we're going to be playing as the 5th Panzer Division, and we're versus the 11th Parachutiste Division. So, from the deployment, you can see I got Luke's 283, some Martyr 183 Milans, and a Gepard, all kind of going to this left-hand tree side. Just a little Fliegerfaust going for the middle here. Apache is going to try and get here to cut off any infantry that he can make here. Because he's playing an airborne division, he can make it to this tree line faster than I can. So this Apache is basically going to scout for us, hopefully kill off some infantry that he's rushing if it's not backed by AA, and then I can easily claim these buildings. Same thing with the Lukes. It's going to kind of cut off this road, make sure he can't push infantry down here. And the Lukes on this side, going to come up here, make sure he can't push infantry down this road. See Apache spotting some units, but the VLRA there gonna be able to stun it, and the Mirage gonna come in and finish the job. Our Luke's on this side though, able to kill off some infantry before it can unload, and the Luke's on the right side gonna be doing the same thing. However, it gets killed off. So here's the difference between the Unimogs and the Fuchs. Basically, you can see the Fuchs vehicles get here a lot quicker than the Unimogs do. So this would have been an instance where if you had infantry in the Fuchs, could have easily gotten there quicker. As you'll see, I'm kind of just trying to get across, but all these vehicles have line of sight, able to kill off these Jaeger. So there goes one, there goes the other. And now I only have the Pioneer squads here. But on this left-hand side, you'll see pushing across with all my Martyrs, my infantry, my Gepard, my 2A3. Gonna cut off this side while he's pushing over here. And then on the right-hand side, I had nothing here at the start, so now I'm just ordering some infantry and some recon to kind of sit back. M48 here, getting 2 of these AMXs, but then it's going to go down, so I'm going to be forced to pull back my Gepard. And we just have this recon sitting here to be able to spot anything that he brings in this tree line. And I'm trying to pull back to here so these can fire their Milan missiles across. Gonna go down to the AML, but now I've got a 2A3 up. You can't compete with that. So our 2A3 is just slowly gonna push up, take these out. Right side, Milan comes in, hits my Martyr. So you see I'm just gonna pull back my 2A3, and now we're just gonna advance with the infantry. Gonna also push up my AA a fair bit. And our 2A3 pretty much cleared out all these AML vehicles. So now I can push back my AA. He didn't really push me on this right-hand side, so you see my recon able to get into position. And I went for all my resources in the middle just because he's an airborne division. I want to get this land grab as quick as possible, because the longer I leave him with this position, he can put up Milans in these buildings in this tree line, and then it becomes a real pain to try and get in this objective. So you'll see I'm just trying to cut off this left-hand side right now, pushing across my infantry. However, the VBL Milan there kills my Luke. So I'm just rushing these Panzer Grenadiers against the anti-char there so that I can win this engagement. Get in this building, make it more difficult for him to bring reinforcements on this side, focus his attention on the right. Brought in a CV for the back, He was at a +2 for a little bit. He's going to have the lead, but we are going to stop the tick at this point. And you'll see I'm just moving up some units to capture as much land outside of the objective that I can. I don't know if he's already in this building, if he's here or not, so I'm just kind of probing. Brought up another Apache. That's to help clear the infantry. So you see I moved my recon out from that forest line so that I can spot this infantry. Then I'm going to pull it back. Apache going to be in range to shoot that with rockets and its main gun. It's going to start going to work. Then bring a bomber there, cut off my units. And as I expected, another Mirage came, killed my Apache. However, I was prepared for this. I had my AA built up, and by pushing this Gepard forward, after he kills the Apache, he has to evac and loop around, so this Gepard's able to get really nice shots on that, kill his plane off. So I'm not sad about that trade. It forced him to buy kind of an aircraft just to take out my Apache. It was a worse trade for him. So it helps me out on the point total. And I was also able to kill off his infantry. Kind of mitigate some of the damage of rather than just straight up losing my helicopter. So now I've brought 2 recon squads to this left-hand side. Recon's very important in this game. So you'll see I'm just kind of spreading it around. Gonna make sure I have good line of sight over this tree line for my 2A3. And I'm pushing forward with some recon on the right hand side as well. Gonna keep this one here just to have line of sight on this road and this far right side. Make sure that nothing is pushing into my objective. So at this point, I bought up another Gepard to strengthen my AA. Make sure I shoot down whatever planes he does send in case I have another. I still have 2 Apaches left, so just gonna make sure I can shoot it down for my next one that I bring. Bring up 2 Jaegers and then 2 of these M48s. Just to get in this tree line, provide support against infantry. I've also brought up a Jaeger here that I can kind of push through this forest line, spot things for my 2A3 to shoot. And my Martyr 1A3 going to be trying to hit the Pamela, but it's going to pull back. So I'm just going to push that to the right a little bit. And we're going to scout in the middle with our recon squad, see if he has any vehicles kind of hidden in here. Anti-char, going to be sitting in that building. I think yeah, we were just at the edge of his range there. It's a little unfortunate. So he dropped off some aeromobiles. And now my infantry is arriving. My recon has moved up a good bit, so now we can spot the units in these buildings. And this is where the M48s shine. They're going to be able to provide good fire support on all this infantry. Same with the 2A3 here. And then if he moves the infantry to the left, my 1A5 can then start shooting at it. So since he doesn't have Milans here right now, this is basically allowing me to play with my vehicles and basically keep his infantry at bay. And you'll see now that I'm moving across these Jaegers, I can take back these little buildings and basically keep him from putting Milans in these buildings and keeping me back. 2A3 is also good if he would have had a Milan there because he's going to take a lot of shots. You can just kind of smoke it, go back and forth, make him waste his ammo, and kill off the Milan that way as well, as long as you have recon spotting it. But if he would have brought Milans, I would have been forced to buy bombers and take those out immediately because that would have been a big issue. But since he didn't do that, it's allowed me to build up my armor, and now I'm just moving across infantry. And you'll see, now I have all these tanks as fire support. And I'm keeping them out of range of these aeromobiles so that they can just fire. Destroy the infantry. I also brought up my next Apache. He's already called in another Mirage for this. Can't really do anything about it, just trying to face the front towards it. Maybe get out, get lucky, but all the Gepard's gonna be able to take it down. Still a better trade for me. So not too sad about that. Jaeger's trying to get into positions. He has a little bit more infantry in this front area. So it's going to be a little harder there. 2A3 going off against 4 of these Sagai and the VBL Milan. Going to be able to kill the VBL there. Kills off another Sagai. Misses that shot. Got another one, but at this point it's weak. I'm going to pull that back. Don't want to lose that. And the 2A3 on the right-hand side, able to kill units that come down this area. So now that he's kind of pushing here, I'm going to reroute some of these tanks to the left-hand side, keep his tanks at bay. Somehow he could see this tank before I could see him, so he probably has recon in this area. See about the 2A3 on this side, able to kill off these Sagai very easily at range. And M48 trying to finish the job here, gonna be able to kill that off. And I brought up my last Apache. So if he kills this one, I have no more Apaches. So trying to keep this one safe. You see I have a ton of Gepards up now. Hoping he's kind of used up what he wants to use to kill my helicopter, since he saw his planes died every single time. Because I want to have some fun with this one. 2A3 still doing a lot of damage on this side. Same with the M48s. All these airmobiles just can't really see my vehicles, so we're able just to pick them off from range with the M48s and the 1A5s and the 2A3s. You'll see I have a bunch of armor now. I also have some artillery in the back. And another piece over here. So we're just starting to hit some of these infantry positions. Now that I have the recon up, I can see the infantry as hidden in the tree line. So now our tanks can just fire at those. Perhaps this is a bit too overeager with the 2A3. If he had an aeromobile somewhere in here, could have popped some shots off. So I should have just kind of pushed up this infantry before moving the tank there. But luckily he doesn't have any infantry there. VBL Milan tried to get a shot off on the M48 there. We were going to take that out. On the right-hand side, very quiet. I'm focusing all my resources on the middle right now because he has a 300, 20-point lead. And, yeah, we're just sending some Fliegerfaust here in case he sends some Gazelles with the autocannons to try and rush me with those. So I moved up the Apache now, taking out his aeromobiles. Doing a lot of damage. Sure enough, Jaguar rocket coming in. I try and change the altitude there. I'm low, he can somehow still see me though. I'm gonna take it out anyways. So changing the altitude there didn't really help the fate of the Apache, even though it was behind this tree line. So M48 just firing from range. His infantry can't do anything at range with my armor. So now we're just pushing up some more of this armor. Moving back to 2A3. I think the Gazelle Hot fired at it. Not 100% sure on that though. And the Fliegerfaust are now arriving at the front. Gonna be pushing across my Jaeger to this building. Spot what he has in this little tree line. And on the left-hand side, I'm just moving across some infantry. Gonna see what he has here. Maybe cut off some reinforcements. Gonna move my recon a little bit more to the middle as well. Allows me to spot the Milan 2 there. Happy to take this engagement with the 2A3, especially a fully upfitted 2A3, as it fires at 13 rounds a minute. So you'll see it doing a lot of damage. I thought his bomber was coming from my tank originally, so I started moving that forward, but it wasn't. And you'll see we're just destroying everything he has in this little area. Gonna lose. Actually, we don't lose it. Okay, never mind. So yeah, now I've got the infantry back here, kind of holding back his VLRAs. Not going to be able to really do much though. 2A3 going to take a shot there. Not going to let that happen for too much longer. Going to decide to smoke that off, pull it back to repair. And now I have some Jaeger squads that just arrived. Going to push those up, and then that'll allow me to push up my armor next. Right hand side, still nothing. Not bothering to reinforce since he's not probing it in this area. I'm happy just to keep putting all my resources in the middle, because I know I need to take this, capture it in order to win the game at this point, as we're about halfway through with 24 minutes remaining. So recon here, giving me great sight on all the infantry he has in this area. I just can't push my vehicles there because they're all aeromobiles. They come with the Apulas. We don't want to just lose our vehicles carelessly to that. I did push up a CV here. I was actually unaware that the infantry would be able to see that. I thought it could only really see my infantry there engaging. So it does snipe. My command that I brought up, should have waited on that. Got a little too overeager. So that's just going to delay me capturing his objective now. Gepard able to kill a Gazelle there. This recon now spotting my Afclares there, so we're going to pull those back. Artillery coming on my Jaeger there. Able to kill my recon. He has some artillery of his own up now. These are just going to be the 105 millimeters, but with, you know, 4 of those, they can still put a lot of damage on my infantry and any command I bring in, any tank that's sitting idly. So we got to be careful of that. So now that I know that I killed a lot of his infantry in this area, I'm pushing up my armor with some recon support. I have infantry that's already cleared out this area, and I'm sending across 1 Jaeger unit to kind of keep the right side infantry from pushing my armor. But he's clearly pulling back. He has a lot of these P4 Milans though sitting in the back. Made him waste a shot on a empty logistics vehicle there. And that's basically telling me, hey, I need to keep this armor back. He's got a lot of ATGMs here that can one-shot these M48s since they only have 5 front armor. Also brought up a 2A4 here in case he decides to do a little tank push through this area. The 2A4 and the 2A3 can keep him at bay. Right-hand side, brought up a 2A3. It is damaged. I believe I actually rerouted this from the middle and then replaced this one with a, replaced it with a M48 and then another 2A3. This way I at least had some armor in this area. And now I brought up another command, so I'm going to bring that in here, move it to the right so that his artillery can't hit me. And I'm going to start kind of probing in his objective over here. Try and get a better tick than a +2. So you see he has a lot of mortars and 105s firing. Unfortunately, he guessed perfectly on where my CV placement was. So just like the first CV, our CV is going to get sniped again. And I'm going to instantly order another one, as we're still behind by a good amount of points here. Lots of Gazelle Hots, lots of Milans, keeping my armor at bay. Another M48 there going down. Another M48 going down. So I'm losing a lot of armor here. Trying to put some Fliegerfaust forward so that we can take out some of these helicopters. Tried to smoke that off. A little too late, though. I'm also bringing up the Gepard, just in order to shoot down these helicopters quicker. But a lot of my cheap armor there went down. So a bit unfortunate. 2A4 though. Gonna be keeping all these vehicles at bay. MT logistics vehicle there, just scouting what he has on this corner, seeing if I could have pushed up these 1A5s, perhaps caught him off guard, but he has a Milan there, so we're just gonna keep these back in a defensive position. Right hand side, still nothing. I did bring up some defense for my CV in the back, in case he decides to push across some recon here or something. This will give me an early indicator of that. So now I'm moving my 2A3 in an advantageous position. I've got some recon in this tree line that I can kind of push up, spot for the 2A3 some. Puma Pirate. Not going to last too long. All the Fliegerfaust do miss, though. Bring up some supply for those. All the Fliegerfaust missed again. Not the best unit. Cluster coming, so I'm going to smoke that off, pull it back. Unfortunately, do lose that, but my AA network is very strong at this point. Able to kill off the cluster. It's going to bring up some seed. Does kill off one of my Gepards. And his seed is going to make it out. Artillery there. Killing off his unit. And for this CV, you'll see I'm moving it in the same exact spot. But once I get it to the spot, I'm going to move it to the far right. Try and be a little unpredictable this time. Move it a lot further than what he would expect. So you'll see it's now in the zone. And I'm going to move it just a little further right. Another seed Jaguar coming in. This time, though, it's going to go down. So just probing a little bit with the infantry on this side. 1A5 going to be able to kill that off. Our infantry is going to be able to move across there. And now I've got a big push going for the center. Trying to get rid of his CV in here. And you'll see all the artillery coming in from where that my CV would have been. P4. Gonna take that out with my martyrs. 2A3. Gonna be able to kill off his recon there. So just pushing these martyrs in front of my heavy tanks, providing cover, able to soak up ATGMs with them. They all have 5 front armor. Smoke that off. Got the Gepard as support. And being a little brazen with this 2A3, just trying to cut off any reinforcements he has. I don't know how much infantry he has in this area. But I'm trying to kill off these mortars. Tries to bomb where I guess he thought my CV would be. Do take out his plane. So there. See the mortar, get one of them, but he does have some infantry here that's able to see my Leopard. Gepard able to hit a lot of these Gazelle Hots. Leopard does go down to an anti-char there. But we spot his CV. So he's not going to be in this objective for too much longer. Milan there trying to get a shot on the M48, but I'm going to smoke that off. Artillery now landing on his command infantry. And we end up taking that out. So that's going to give us a nice +4. Very good tick. And with 15 minutes left in the game, we're close to having the lead now. On this left-hand side, just probing with all my Panzer Grenadier. He has a lot of infantry there, though. His infantry is also better than mine, so we're not going to be able to do very much against that. I finally buy my first plane of the game. I feel like since I haven't been using aircraft, he's not going to have much AA. So we're going to test our luck with a tornado here. I managed to spot some tanks he has in reserve, so I'm just going to bomb those with the tornado. Able to kill a Gazelle hot there too. Take out 2 of his Sagai, severely injure the other 2, so that was well worth it. And my opponent sending a bomber around the back perfectly CV snipes me. So I now unload this. I get out some Lukes because I know he has something in my rear line that was able to spot that CV. We do shoot down his bomber on the way back, though, as it crosses above all my air defense. 150-point lead now. 13.5 minutes left. But he has something in my rear line here. It's causing me issues, so we're just going to try and cut that off, get a new CV, and just secure this middle zone and then win the game from there. So we're up another 2A3 for this area in case he wants to push across here. I got the 1A5 providing support here as well. I'm now counter-battering his artillery. Keep that at bay. And we found a recon squad in our back line. So that's what was spotting our CV. So we're going to try and kill that off. There's actually another recon squad here. But he's going to get that away. So we're just going to put the Lukes on the corner. Make sure he can't push across, kill anything. And the other one moving up to these little zones to protect the CV that we're now moving. 2A4. Again, I'm being very aggressive with these heavy tanks because at this point I'm just trying to end the game early. Basically force them to surrender. Jaguar napalm though. Gonna force me to pull that back. Do end up killing his plane though. And on the right hand side, we're now secure with our CV. Still have the recon squad there though. Luke's gonna push up in order to kill that. Make sure that doesn't happen again. Move the infantry to the side, protect whatever comes across here. Opponent tried to push across some little VLRA recon units there, but I moved the 2A3 back from the middle, protected that flank. He's not getting through. Also counter-battering some of his artillery on this side. Make it to where he can't really CV snipe me anymore. So my 2A4, I just pulled it back. I'm playing defensive now. I've got over a 400-point lead with 11 minutes left. It's looking very favorable for me at this moment, so I'm just trying to protect this middle zone. Moving up my Lukes to the front. At this point, I'm thinking maybe he has a large force here that he's about to push me with. Since he's not surrendering yet, he clearly thinks he still has a chance to win this game. So I'm just preparing for whatever he's going to bring to the side. See, I still haven't repaired my 2A3 there. Should have rerouted some supply to this. But since I haven't met any resistance on the side, it's not really a concern. Pushing some recon here for my tanks to use for a possible push. Because I know if I take this tree line, it might force him to surrender. So I'm thinking, at this point, what does he really have here? So I'm going to push across my 2A4. This was very bold. Should not have done this. because he can have anti-chars there. He clearly has them in his deck. He's been using them very effectively. And I should have just pulled this back. It's also not good if he has tanks of his own, like this guy here, because being kinetic, even though my 2A4 here has 20 front armor, you can see 2 shots from this guy there, able to kill it at close range. So that was just dumb. But I'm thinking, okay, you know, maybe that's his last tank here. Let's go ahead and push across these 2A3s, just finish him off. And sure enough, anti-char there. Gonna kill off the first one. Gonna kill off the second one. And now I have no heavy armor on this side. I did keep a 2A4 in reserve in case that happened. But this is not the scenario that you want. Would have much rather had 2 2A3s and a 2A4 in reserve. That just was really dumb just to rush those in like that. I should have had infantry in front. Just wanted to try and get an early surrender here because I don't really think he has a way back into the game at this point. I did push across some more infantry on the far right in case he tries to sneak a CV in here. He's got to at least break down this infantry first. Gonna kill off another one of my Gepards there, but flying rider my AA, his aircraft is gonna go down. Gets a shot on my Gepard, but the 2A4 able to finish the job. Gonna reroute the CV, the supply back, and you'll see he has another recon squad that's managed to sneak through my line. So I did change my CV placement. Instead of having it way back here, I moved it up. And sure enough, not the best move because this recon squad knows where it is. And he's just moving across in order to get the shot there. So just more annoying backline action. Gonna be able to kill my CV there. Still at a +2 though, so I'm not worried at all at this point. See that our opponent has some more aircraft coming in. Clusters. Gonna kill my Gepard. Gonna try and kill the other Gepard. Doesn't succeed though. And we're actually able to kill both of these aircraft. I now also have recon in his back line, so I can see any type of vehicle that he brings across there. He does have a command that he managed to sneak in on this side, so I'm going to move across my recon infantry again. Try and spot whatever's in this little tree line. Right hand side, moved across my infantry to try and spot this infantry. Get rid of this recon again. Manages to snipe my CV. And we end up taking out both his aircraft again. But without the CV there, we're now he's at a +2 because we don't have control of this zone anymore. So the CV snipes are actually hurting me a bit at this point. I believe I only have 1 CV left. So cannot lose any more CVs at this point. Got to be very careful. CV is moving back in this zone. I'm now pushing up my Lukes and 1A5s to the front. I believe I have enough security in this area. See, I've also moved up some recon on the right, spotting what he has in this area, which is nothing at this point. And now I'm going to move this CV way to the back over here. I have infantry here. I have this martyr protecting this side of the tree line. The Panzer Grenadier should be able to spot any other recon there, and then the Luke's guarding the tree line as well, so the CV should be safe from now on. Bringing up a bunch of martyrs there. He is trying to snipe my other CV in the back there, but I'm really quick on seeing where that artillery is going, and I'm going to move that CV away. If I would have lost that CV, I believe I did not have a replacement, as I'm not calling another one to the middle. I don't think I have another CV at this point. So really need to keep this one alive or he's going to be at a +2. So that's going to force me that since he's trying to CV snipe me, I know I just need to take out his command here. I need to be ticking at this point. I can't allow him to even get a +2. So I'm just going to be committing a lot of forces to try and take out a CV. I know he snuck it in on this side since I have infantry on this area. So he's also thinking I may have put a CV there, trying to snipe it. So all my armor now pushing up, supported by the Lukes. That's going to be able to spot any infantry he has in this tree line so that my armor can fire at it. Saw another recon unit trying to poke out there, but the mortar able to fire off some shots, keep him at bay. And we spot his command infantry in the back. So now all these tanks and mortars going to be able to fire at that. Able to spot his reinforcements coming in as well. Appilas there. Going to get the shot on the 1A5 before I can pull that back. And he's just bringing in a lot of infantry now in this area, so we're just going to pull back all our vehicles. And if he wants to come at us with infantry, we'll just gladly take the engagement with our tanks. It's not too worrying for me. And since I knocked him out of the zone, I'm now at a +2 again with 4 minutes left. He has no way to come back in this game, down 1,000 points with 4 minutes. But our opponent wants to play it out. Maybe he has something up his sleeve. But at this point, you can see I'm just mass buying infantry. Just trying to push him out as far as try and force him to surrender. Because I know there's no way really for him to get back in this game unless he CV snipes this, this, and this. So just kind of pushing up units now. Keeping what I need in reserve. See, I got a large composition of forces now. Artillery also did a very good job in the back. Opponent just bringing up some more infantry. I'm not too worried about pushing this though, as I don't need to. Just targeting the Gazelle here with the Fliegerfaust. Hoping to get some redemption here and finally get a Fliegerfaust kill. Targeting this with my artillery. And again, no units spotted on this right-hand side. I just have the 283 here to protect against any backline action. And I don't need to push this, so I'm not going to. I just need to keep this middle zone. You'll see I just have all these mortars just sitting here in the back. Gonna finally move those up. Fliegerfaust finally gets a kill there. And he's just buying a bunch of Milan 2s to kill off my armor, but it's way too late for that with only a minute left and me at a +2. Up over 1,200 points now. There's nothing he can do. Also have 2 more 283s coming up. And since I know I brought in a bunch of Milans here, just move across my mortar. Kill these at close range since I can't fire within 350 meters. Somehow, he sneaks in another CV, but that's not going to matter. It only neutralizes everything. We're now in the final minute, and all my infantry has arrived and it's martyrs. Just being kind of careless with it, but I have the win anyways. So now I'm just rushing across all my heavy armor. And we're just going to demolish everything he has in this area. Move across more infantry here. At this point, I'm like, well, I don't really want to give him 2 more 2A3 kills with a anti-char, so we're just going to pull that back, and we're going to move in our infantry. Gonna bomb this anti-char there. Martyr behind the command para is going to take that out. And these Milan 2s aren't going to be able to do a whole lot. Those are going to go down to the martyrs and the infantry. And that's going to be GG in 5 seconds. And you'll see at this point, I'm just rushing everything I can. So opponent never surrendered, went down to the very end. But you can see the massive disparity in kills to losses there. 283 in the beginning, able to kill a bunch. Gepard's able to keep his air force at bay. Apaches didn't do too much, but they did enough to force him to buy planes and basically keep being the advantage on the ground. You can see another 283 doing a lot of damage there. Gepard killing a lot. Artillery able to kill off his artillery, some aircraft, not aircraft, some anti-air, some infantry, other artillery piece able to kill his command and his 2 artillery pieces there. 2A4. I mean, he just had nothing to deal with my armor in this. So once I was able to kind of push him out in the open, there's nothing he could have done. See on his side, the Gazelle hot 2 there, able to kill 4 of my vehicles. Anti-char there, killed 3 of my 2A3s. That was the big pain on the left-hand side where I was just rushing my tanks for no reason. So that was just kind of give me points there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, GG to J-Rob, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Later.